Hello class, welcome back to IT 145. We're still in week 1. I went through and did all the exercises again by hand just to make sure they were understandable. And I found that there's just some gotchas. So what I wanted to do was show you some simple, common things you're going to have to do in programming, which, surprise, surprise, might just apply for the week 1 Xylabs. And to do that, I found this one compiler, which is a Java compiler in your browser, and I went ahead and wrote a simple program. I'm going to put some text in the announcement as well, which is the code to the program. I think it's very straightforward, but we're going to start with some broad general notes about this week. So the assignment is a lot of input data, convert it, transform it, output it. And what I find is that you've got to input a number and then do some math on it and then turn it into a string. Things like that can be very confusing. So let's talk about it. For example, data types. A string is, you might think, a collection of characters put together, words, sentences, things like that, and usually put in double quotes. A character is a more native data type. It's closer to the metal, and it's just one single letter on your keyboard, capital A, lowercase a. Historically, programming languages put those in single quotes. So when you want to get the screen reader object, which you're going to have a lot of screen reader objects in these assignments, it can be tricky to get just one character. So you're going to use screen reader next character at 0. You can think of a string as a collection of letters, collection of characters starting at address 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's an array or a collection that is indexed, and the index is the mailbox number. So the 0th is actually the first. You're going to have an assignment like that. Likewise, you may need to convert a double to an integer, and we can do that with something called casting. So right here, we have a double, which represents pi, 3.141597, famous math number. And we want to chop it off and just get the 3 out of it, and we can do that by declaring an integer and then saying this double is cast to an integer. I also want to mention the difference between the full capital letter classes and the small e classes, so int, integer. Oh, in Java, there's also capital I, int, eger, integer. That's a class. And it's somewhere deep down in the bowels of the integer class, there's an int, which has just a number. There's a bunch of other conversion helper functions in there. What that means is you can call on the base class integer, convert an integer to string, pass it in your integer, and it'll become a string. So, and you notice that string classes, first letter is capitalized, so it's a Java class. And you can put strings together. So you can have string result is the chopped off value of pi, that's in quotes, that's a string, and then we're going to add the what we defined earlier, string chopped off. Now, you'll notice these are all with the two slashes. This is all comments. This is not the code I want to show you. These are just examples you may use and find helpful on this week's zyBooks, week 1. Let's get down to the little program that I wrote just to show you a little bit of Java. This is a classic children's program. We're going to have the victory number. That is the number you're trying to guess. And it says enter a number between 1 and 100. And then, of course, it's going to grab from the screen reader the next integer. A couple of interesting things about this. So I'm going to start with a print, enter a number. And then I'm going to add a print line so that it actually goes down to the next line after you enter it. And that's just the difference between print and print line. It may throw you off. If you run the submission and it says there's this little enter is missing, it's because you used a print when you should have used a print ln. Or if there's too many extra spaces, it's because you used print ln when you should have used print. And then of course, if the user submission is less than the victory number, we're going to say your guess is too low. If it's higher, it's too high. And we're going to put all that inside of a while loop. So we're going to loop forever until you guess the right number. And then we're going to say, congratulations, you got it. This is a little program. I hope you can read it. If you can't, send me an email. If it doesn't make sense, send me an email. But it's just a little program to show looping and if statements. You could enter a number like below -1. You could loop forever. There's it doesn't check the input. You can enter a number over 100. I wanted it to fit on a page. So let's go ahead and try to run it. So if the victory number is 10, we're going to start with 20. It should say, hey, that number's too high. And we're going to do 15, still too high, and then 10, it should say you got it. And then let's click run. Enter a number. Your guess of 20 is too high. Your guess of 15 is too high. Congratulations, you got it. Now it feels a little awkward because we don't have a true console here. We're putting input in and output in one place, output in another. And you're going to have to work through that. Another common error, if you find, is not putting all these on the same line, or not putting them on different lines, or maybe you write input that is supposed to go like this. And because of the way that you structure the requests, but then your code is asking them to be on different lines. Those are things to look for. I can help you with that. Just for my own memory, I didn't have notes. I had to Google, hey, how do you convert a string to an integer? This sort of in Java, because I don't have it at type touch memory. I don't program in Java every day. So I can tell you how to do it in Ruby or Python, but not in Java, because I'm not doing that every day. You might have to do similar Googling. But this code should be out there. This video should be up between the two, and help from me. I hope we'll get through week 1 and we'll get on to week 2. You got any questions? Drop me a note. Didn't want to have a video that was too long. Thanks, everybody. Bye.